Business continuity is quite a big industry. There are lots of specialists out there, and I don't claim to be one. But I think there are some principles behind good business continuity that certainly that I have seen. The first is, obviously the best part of business continuity is to avoid the crisis in the first place. So thinking quite carefully about what assets and resources you have that are scanning for potential threats and identifying vulnerabilities in advance. So if there is an increase in burglaries in the area, what are we starting to bring in and put in place ahead of any incident actually happening? How vulnerable are we to some sort of cyber attack, and what is the prevalence of those cyber attacks occurring in our industry, in our sector, in other businesses that we know that exist in our area? So those are the sort of, if you like, the first principle. I think the second one then is to keep things as high level as possible. My view is that too often people pick out what they think are the most likely threats that they will face, and they produce a very detailed business continuity plan to mitigate against those threats. But the problem is that the issue that you'll face is nearly always not the one that you've ever planned for. So perhaps better to have a much higher level framework that allows you a degree of latitude on decision making, and that you can adapt as you go along. So create a more agile company, a more agile organization that can react on the hoof rather than having to stick slavishly to a particular plan. People are definitely key, and that would be my other principle. The more that you can make people feel like they are a valued and important part of the business and all of your people, then the more that they will want to look after the business as well. And if you do have an incident and you do have to react and you do have to recover, then those people are the ones who will be willing to come in and put in the extra hours and the overtime in order to get the thing back on its feet. I think then the last piece really is around what sort of process you have. And do you have a process that you can follow, that anybody can follow from anywhere? If you have a business continuity plan and you have to stick to that plan, and only certain individuals are authorized to run with that plan, then it becomes very difficult if they're not available, or they're on a flight, or their plane's not, or their train's not working, or whatever else it might be. So why not have something that anybody can pick up at any time from anywhere, based on maybe a cloud or a server somewhere that they can access, and so they can pick up and at least start to run with the crisis from the outset, rather than having to wait until it's too late for the specialist to come in.